Alrighty, fellas, we're starting a new series here for MLB the Show 26. We're going to do Team Tuesdays where I can rate your team, give you some of my personal advice, my opinions, because I have played with a lot of these cards. I think some guys are better than others. You might think some of those cards that I say stink are great. That being said, if you want to be featured in one of these videos, fellas, join the Discord. There's going to be a link down below. You can join it, send your team into the tab, and then every Tuesday we'll be going through teams, giving you guys ratings and some of my personal opinions. That being said, if you do that, in this video, we're not going to have batting orders. Nobody sent their batting orders in. I would like to have those as well so I can maybe help you. Be like, hey, this guy should be leading off. This guy probably gets on base a little bit more for you. We'll have to take a look at that. That'll be in the next video. But if this is something you're interested in, fellas, again, rating your teams, giving you guys some of my personal opinions, this is it for you. Stay tapped in. Let's get into the first team. Alrighty, so the first team we have is Beast Mode's team here, and we're going to take a quick glance and then give you some recommendations here. So, DePaula at left field, I'm not a fan of this, man. Honestly, I'd rather rock like even Brandon Nimmo or even Taylor Ward. Taylor Ward, you're going to spend a little bit of stubs. Now, the high-end card that I would be a little bit scared to play out in left field, but the bat is so good, is going to be Juan Soto. If you wanted to go spend the stubs, get that Juan Soto. That right now, dude, I am crushing the ball with him. I love him. That being said, I would even rather use somebody like supercharged Christian Yelich right now, who is probably up in price because he is supercharged, but Christian Yelich in left field, I'm just not a fan of the DePaula card. Terrible defense. The bat's not really there in my opinion. Luis Robert Jr., I think, is probably like the second best when it comes to like being no money spent, not spending a lot of money to get a center fielder. I think Luis Robert is basically the right-handed Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete Crow's a little bit better in my opinion, hits the ball a little bit better. Luis Robert's going to crush lefties. Great speed out there. He's going to cover the center field perfectly for you. I like this for your team. And then Lazaro Montes. Now, you are going to be lacking a bit of defense out here, but this guy, great swing, crushes the ball. I'm not mad at this, especially if you're hitting very well with this guy and you'd rather, sacrifice some defense. Because right now, it looks like you're sacrificing defense at left and right field. Center field, looks like you got that locked down. I love Luis Robert. That being said, you're sacrificing a lot of defense out there. Now, if you're okay with it, so be it. I mean, again, you can play people out of position. Taylor Ward, you can play Nimmo over there too, if I'm not mistaken. You can basically play anybody in the outfield anywhere. That being said, if you're hitting well with him, stick with him. Now, the other thing you could actually do here, right, is you could move Luis Robert to left field. You're going to take some small hits because he's moving out of position. And then also play this Connor Griffin. Connor Griffin at center field, he's moving out there. I played against Connor Griffin today. That guy was a demon at shortstop. I'm hoping he's probably pretty decent at center field, and the bat's not terrible either. Okay, the bat wasn't terrible, so there's a few options if you want to pick up your defense a little bit, but keep this Luis Roberts bat in the lineup. Again, Luis Roberts going to be terrible against lefties, but against righties, he's opposite. My apologies. He's going to be great against lefties and terrible against righties. Now, Jesus Mate, this is like the key piece to your team, in my opinion. This guy, I have a pretty good team, I would say, right? I have Albert Pujols, Manny Ramirez, Roy Campanella. That being said, Jesus Mate is my favorite shortstop right now. I love Corey Seager for the bat. He can't play defense like him. That Connor Griffin plays similar defense, but Connor Griffin's not a switch hitter. So I like Jesus Mate a lot here. Great defense, great bat. Honestly, one of my most consistent hitters so far. Didi, now again, this is why I kind of want to see your guys' batting lineups so I can see how many lefties and righties you have. If you need a righty bat, you could go Nolan Arenado for cheap, right? Well, literally free. But Didi was one of my favorite cards early on. I've even considered, I have David Wright at third base right now. I would consider Didi if I need a left-handed bat. That being said, David kind of picked it up today. Great defense from David and great bat today as well. Didi was one of my favorite cards. I'm not mad at this. Ozzy, not bad either, okay? In my opinion, the best second baseman of the game is Ketel Marte. I know it's Ketel Marte. That being said, though, he's a bit expensive. Ozzy is also a switch hitter. He rakes the ball, in my opinion. I love his swing. Defensively, going to be a bit of a liability. Now, I see you have Soriano on the bench. You could play Soriano. I like Ozzy over that. I think Ozzy is a great option for you. Now, as I see your DH here, you have Bryce Harper as DH. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bryce Harper has better defense than Big Schmeat Pete. And I don't like this Big Schmeat Pete because he has reverse splits, okay? He's a right-handed batter that hits righties better. It's very odd. Not very odd, but it's a reverse split. I just don't like that because it's hard to hit righty for me. I'm probably going to strike out anyway. I'd rather be able to just mash lefties. That being said, you could move him to DH, and depending on what you're facing, okay? So on your bench here, you should have a catcher. That being said, you have probably one of the best catchers. My favorite catcher, honestly. I'm using Roy Campanella again, right? I'm using Roy, and I kind of want to go back to Ted. That being said, we call him Pool Noodle Ted for a reason. He doesn't hit home runs, but he's going to have some clutch hits for you, driving some good runs, boys. And he's a switch hitter. He can also play first base if you needed him to. You should have a catcher on your bench in case you need to sub him out for either speed, anything, pinch hitting, something. So you can also bring in another catcher. And then you have lefty. I believe he is a righty. Okay. So again, you're going to need a catcher. And then you should have a righty killer and a lefty killer. These guys are both going to crush righties. And Alfonso's okay, right? He'll be able to hit lefties. Not sure if I love that for your bench. That being said, I'd probably start Bryce Harper and then maybe DH Big Schmeat Pete if you really love him. But I'd probably rather have, honestly, any one of these guys. Schwarber, Corey, maybe not Soriano, maybe not. That being said, completely up to you. Again, if you're crushing the ball with Big Schmeat Pete, be my guest, rock him out. That's perfectly fine. I think Bryce Harper has a great swing too. That being said, that's all I got for your offense. Let's take a look at your pitching. All right, this is where it gets a little dicey, fellas. I need to play more online games to see who's really good, right? Because Liam from Spring Breakout, I think it's Liam, I can't remember his last name. Doyle, maybe? Liam Doyle for the Cardinals from Spring Breakout. I heard good things about that guy. I used him today. Did not love him. He's got a good pitch mix. His splitter's pretty nice and things like that. But I'm probably going to bump him out of my starting five and move in this Dylan Cease. I've used Dylan Cease in co-op quite a bit. 100-mile-an-hour fastball. The slider's really good. Now, he is missing like a cutter and things like that. But he's still a pretty solid pitcher. I am not a fan of Yoshi. Not at all. I know some people in chat were saying they like Yoshi. Zach Wheeler as well, right? The big thing I'm seeing you missing right here is Al Leiter. I still love Al Leiter. We used Al Leiter today in ranked solos, and he was still dicing it up. Did he go a couple ups? Absolutely. But he's got a sinker, slider, cutter combo. That changeup is still devastating. Al Leiter's still one of my favorite pitchers in the game. I would absolutely add him to your lineup. Now, I'm okay with Verlander. We used Verlander. Verlander doesn't have a great pitch mix, but again, completely up to you. I think he's okay. He's serviceable. I do believe we have better options out there. You know, there's a card that's been floating around. Somebody in chat even mentioned it. Cool Papa Bell. If you don't know how to get that Cool Papa Bell card, fellas, go do storylines out in the main menu. You'll earn that card. I might have to test him out, especially because we're going to be moving Liam. I think Liam Doyle is his name. Moving him out. Also, Zach Wheeler. I mean, I would rather have like some of the jolt guys that I even use. I think like just statistically are better than him. Roger's probably better than Zach. Ubaldo Jimenez, guys like that. And then when it comes to your closing pitchers here, honestly, this Victor guy is pretty slept on. I don't use him, but his pitch mix is very good. Splitter, cutter, fastball. He has a really good combo. Abner, still pretty good. I mean, he's throwing a 98-mile-an-hour sinker. He has a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got the cheddar. The slider's okay. Not mad at your bullpen either. Devin Williams, Ryan Helsley, and then a great closer in Mason Miller here. Zerpa, Weiser. Weiser's probably the only one I would get rid of, and I would actually look to pick up a lefty, another lefty, because you have one lefty here. Then you have righty. You should definitely get another lefty at this bullpen. That's the thing. We are missing some lefties. Like, my other lefty is Aroldis Chapman right now, which there might be a free one coming tomorrow with April Fools, so stay tapped in for that. But I would be looking to pick up any type of lefty that you can get right now, just in case you need a lefty arm to come in. Now, as an overall rating for your team here, your pitching is okay, not bad at all. Your team is solid as well. I'm going to give this a solid for what we have out there and what you can get for free and with stubs. I'm going to give this a solid 8.2 out of 10, brother. Few upgrades. Left and right field, I think, need a little bit of help. Not the biggest fan of Big Schmeat Pete. And then your pitching. Your pitching needs a little bit of work as well. Definitely, I would personally take out Yoshi until maybe you make Hall of Fame. And Zach Wheeler, same thing here. There's better options. Al Leiter is fantastic. That's all I got for you, brother. Next team. And then next up, we have McBoski's team here. We're starting off with the bullpen. That's what he sent first here. Now, as for your setup closer here, Kyle Finnegan, again, okay, I'm going to say no. Broxton's okay. Money Munoz, not. Now, this is the live series Money Munoz. I would probably take him out as well. What do you got here? We have righty, lefty, righty, and then another righty. Yeah, so personally, I would probably sell this Kyle Finnegan. I don't know what his price is. I would just get rid of him. These aren't going to be used for collections, it looks like. Also, Angel Zerpa, good. You got your lefty. I love Helsley. I love Devin Williams. Robert Suarez is not bad. I've been using this card a little bit. He is not bad. Abner, again, 98-mile-an-hour sinker, 100-mile-an-hour fastball, has a slider. You can confuse people a little bit. He's starting to get a bit predictable. People are seeing him a lot. The only one I would absolutely say you probably should get rid of is your gold, right? And it's Manny Munoz. And I would be looking to pick up a lefty. And again, we'll have to see. Will we get that Aroldis Chapman tomorrow? We'll have to see. Otherwise, you got to go pay a pretty penny to get a lefty closer out there. Not the worst here. I like what I see here. Also, getting rid of Finnegan. And again, Mason Miller would be nice. I do love Mason Miller. That being said, I think you could get some stubs for this card, move on, pick up somebody else. Honestly, I used a lot of Ryan Helsley today, a lot of Devin Williams. Fantastic for me. Also, Jolt series, fellas. Go get Goose Gossage, right? I would get rid of this guy for sure. Go get Goose Gossage. Get rid of that guy. Go get Lee Smith for the Cardinals. Lee Smith, very good. Fastball. He's kind of a dot too, right? We used him as well today. Kind of a dot. That forkball, not as good as it was last year, but still really good. Then we have the starting pitch hit. Another Yoshi, Dylan Cease, Pettit, Seth Hernandez, Ryan Sloan. Okay, now, Seth Hernandez, not the worst card in the world. Again, I'm going to tell you, I know what you're missing already, and you're missing Al Leiter. Okay, get rid of Yoshi, Al Leiter. I've actually seen you pitch with this Andy Pettit. He's not bad. Low velo. I personally wouldn't use him. I'd be looking to pick up some more velo. That's completely up to you. I've actually picked up that Sonny Gray. We didn't talk about him the last time. Sonny Gray is another dot with no velo. Might have to try him out to actually get a good test because, again, that Liam Doyle for me, probably moving on out. I love Ryan Sloan. You saw me pitch with him today. The only thing I would do is really be looking to get some more of those jolt guys, okay? Some more of those jolt guys. Roger, Ubaldo, 100% Al Leiter. I'm good with Dylan Cease. Now, it looks like you haven't done your collection. The collection to get Justin Verlander is literally free. Once you complete the program, you just go in there, collect all. You should have 8 cards. You'll get that Justin Verlander. Now, Verlander, again, solid. We pitched him today. I think we gave up like 2 runs with him, and we kind of blew the kid out. But that was early on. That was like the first couple games. So that's what I would probably do here. I'd probably move off of Pettit, pick up that Verlander, also get rid of Yoshi, and pick up that Al Leiter. Okay, now taking a look at your bench here. Schwarby on the bench. Will Smith, nice, got a catcher. I seen you hit with this Lucas Ramirez. You actually hit really well with him. And then Ed Matthews, who I believe is a lefty, if I'm not mistaken. So you have lefty, and I think Lucas may be a righty. Again, this is why I kind of need the batting order. But it's all right. It's all right. Another one with De Paula. Oh, we forgot to mention that. Willie Castro. Okay, Willie Castro at left field for beast mode as well. Willie Castro out there. Good speed. Sedane is not a bad option as well. That being said, completely up to you. Sedane is not bad, okay? I personally did kind of like Luis Robert a little bit more, but Sedane is really, really good. I wouldn't knock you for having that. DePaula is the only one that I would say, like, get him out of here, right? Get him gone. Again, there's plenty of right fielders that you can swap around. You can put Willie in left field. Willie was great in left field. Dude, honestly, I would rather have Kyle Schwarber in left field than De Paula. De Paula, I think, has got like 53 speed, so he is faster, but like he's going to be almost as bad. And the bat's nowhere near as good as Kyle Schwarber. Brendan Donovan, again, so I've been on that Nobody Spank ride. I've been doing the mini seasons and that New Threads one. I've used Brendan Donovan a lot. He's not a very good card. I'm going to be 100% honest. I think he's got a decent swing. He doesn't have enough drive. He's got like 70 power against, I believe, righties because he's a left-handed bat. That being said, right here, Ethan Holiday, move him over to third base. Jesus Made. I think Jesus Made is the most slept on card in the game. That guy has been fantastic. Now, obviously, the best shortstop in the game is Tulo. I don't have Tulo. I'm rocking Made because he's a switch hitter. Again, fantastic bat. Jesus Made at short. Third base, Ethan Holiday. You have a lefty bat. That's really good. Alfonso Soriano, not mad at this. Okay, I do think if you hit well with Alfonso, I probably would go Ozzy over him. I believe Alfonso is going to play a little bit better defense than Ozzy. I do prioritize defense, but again, this is why I paid. Well, actually, I pulled him. I got lucky. But I would have paid to get Kettle Marty because he plays really good defense and he's a switch hitter. Great bat. Alfonso is a serviceable piece, probably down there in like the 5 spot. I'm trying to think around that 4 or 5 spot. And then Moon, again, I would rather have Bryce Harper over him. Some of you guys, again, it depends on your batting order. Do you need lefties? Do you need righties? Bryce Harper was fantastic for me. Only reason I moved off of him, again, is because I got Albert Pujols. Big Schmeat Pete at DH. I'm not mad at it, especially if you hit well with him. I do not love him. You know that. My favorite DH right now is Juan Soto. Again, another expensive card. I get it. It's a 90. But there are plenty of other options, right? Again, you could play Schwarber there. You could play multiple different cards there. Whoever you hit the best with, based off of your bench. Now, I see you have Will Smith on the bench. I love Will Smith. Okay, I've been using this live series a little bit. His live series, I would rather have Will Smith over Harry Ford. I don't know why you have him there. Maybe you're just testing him out. Maybe you actually hit well with him. I love Will Smith's swing. He's very clutch, great hitter. Now, if you hit better with Harry Ford, maybe you pop in Will Smith here. I don't know. It's completely up to you. Again, I'm just not the biggest fan of this Pete card. This Pete is so hit or miss, but when you do connect nicely, you do hit home runs. So I get it. You probably feel like you're hitting a lot of home runs with him because you're probably hitting a decent amount, right? That being said, this team here, the pitching, not bad. I like the team. I like the setup here. Sedane is solid as well, right? This is another one, too, where you could get Luis Robert, throw him over here instead of De Paula. I just am not a fan of this card at all. Moving Ethan over, getting rid of Brendan Donovan, and then also picking up Jesus Mate would be big for you. This is another one here. This is a pretty solid team. I like your defense better. I like the switch hitterness. I like Soriano a little bit as well. I'm going to give this one about an 8.4 out of 10. I think there's some, not mistakes. Maybe you're hitting well or just testing them out. I would definitely have Will over Harry. I don't know much about this card, to be honest with you. All I know is that I don't use him. That being said, you have a couple different options as well, right? Pool Noodle Ted, free card that you can go get, and obviously Will Smith. Not a bad team. 8.4 out of 10, brother. And our final team is Aiden's Aura. This team right here sucks. No, I'm just kidding, Aiden. I would smoke you, though. Just kidding. You'd probably beat me. Just kidding. That being said, I seen you play with this George Lombard, right? That was the first thing that popped out to me was George Lombard. This card's actually pretty good. I have to be honest with you. At least you made him look good. I will say that. Your batting order, I know you have it done perfectly. Leo's not a bad card. Bryce Harper, Corey Seager, Kyle Schwarber, Willie Castro at center. I'm glad you took Chisholm out of there. Don't know if I can say that. Let's scratch that. Jazz Chisholm. And then Ronald Acuna in right. This is actually a pretty solid setup team right here, brother. I love Lindo. DeVries is good. The only thing is I honestly, the only exchange here, you're having less defense with Lindo, who does play good defense. Less defense, but more power instead of Jesus Mate. That being said, completely up to you what you want to run. I know you like George Lombard. You played well with him. I would even consider Jesus Mate there over George Lombard, but George Lombard, you were very good with him. Will Smith at catcher, great. I mean, honestly, there's not a whole lot I would change. You know how I feel. I don't like Schwarber in left field because of the defense. That being said, I'm running Man Ram. We had a couple mistakes, and it's making me regret. I'm like, dude, I really want that Manny Ramirez bat in my lineup, but God, we are giving up too many bad hits to left field. And you're going to have to deal with that with Schwarber. And I saw you hit with Schwarber, so I'd probably deal with it. I'd probably deal with the bad defense to have Schwarber still. Now for your bench, Big Schmeat, WW. Again, I mean, you should probably have a catcher. You have 2 second basemen. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Jazz can play a little bit of a couple different positions. Kyle Tucker, I mean, the live series at least doesn't have reverse splits, right? The new Threads one does have reverse splits. This live series Kyle's not bad against righties, so I like that. Big Schmeat, take him out, right? Just get rid of him. Honestly, he doesn't hit lefties as well as he does righties. I don't like him over Bryce Harper. So honestly, I would find a different bat. I'm assuming this is your righty killer or your lefty killer, and he's not really. I mean, he can hit lefties. Obviously, he can hit them. But he's not the best option, in my opinion. I think there's other options out there for a lefty killer. That being said, Jazz Chisholm, I mean, that's just your favorite player. Ozzy, I like that, but I would say, bro, you probably got to take him out, and you got to put a catcher in. Now, you don't necessarily need a catcher, but it's nice to have a backup catcher because you can get some speed out there, flip-flop them around. That's up to you. Pitching, 87 Shohei. Obviously, I have 92 Shohei. I think this Shohei is still good. The 92 Shohei, obviously better. That being said, this Shohei, still serviceable. Again, You got Yoshi in there. Kate Anderson is okay. Eduardo Rodriguez, a little bit slow on the velo, but kind of a dot. Dylan Cease. Same thing here. I'd probably be looking, again, pitching's a little bit hard for me to recommend right now because I haven't utilized a ton of stuff out there. That Liam Doyle, I'm not a fan of. A lot of people are. I do like Ryan Sloan. I do like Al Leiter. There's some options. Now, completely up to you what you want to do. I'm okay with Shohei. I guess I haven't used K to really know if he's good or bad. Brian Sloan's really good. Al Leiter's really good. I'd probably get rid of these two. These would be the first two off. Also, you could probably get Verlander. I think you have the program done. So you could probably get Verlander as well. I do like Verlander, but Verlander's pitch mix isn't the best. Wish he had something else, man, like a cutter or even, I don't think he has a splitter. Something. That circle change just doesn't get the job done for me. Then we have the bullpen. Kyle Finnegan, I mean, I have an idea why you use this card as well. Chappie, W, okay? This is a W. I'm okay with this. This is a W. Where's your Ryan Helsley? I think Ryan Helsley is really, really good. We use Ryan Helsley a lot today. 103, then with that slider, and he also has a cutter. Now, the cutter lacks control, but it still gets the job done. I would say Ryan Helsley should be in here. Ottavino's very nice too, right? But like, I feel like we've seen so much of Ottavino at this point that he's pretty easy to hit. Like, you can easily discern his sinker and sweeper now. You can tell when the sweeper's coming, and you can tell when the sinker's coming, so it's not as good of a combo anymore. Gregory Soto, we already know about him. I love this guy a lot. I don't love him in your lineup, but I could understand it. I think we have better options out there. Again, Ryan Helsley. Robert Suarez. I believe I said Ranger. Robert Suarez, actually not a bad card. I actually kind of like this guy. There's a couple guys out there, right? That Camilo Doval, too, right? Throwing like a 100-mile-an-hour cutter with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Not mad at this at all. But, again, the big names, the free names you're missing. Jolt series, right? Goose Gossage, Lee Smith. Those two guys right there. Other than that, this is a really good team. This is probably, I would say, the best team that we saw from this lineup here today. That being said, I'm going to give this a solid 9.2. A solid 9.2. You got good defense out here. Great bats all the way around. I'm loving what I'm seeing. The pitching staff, a little bit lackluster. I think that's where you lose some points. Again, Shohei is okay. Nothing to write home about. Yoshi, I'm not a big fan of. Eduardo, and then also Kate. I'm just not a big fan of your rotation, but if you're good with them, you're good with them. That being said, I have a few suggestions for you, okay? Definitely get Al Leiter. Everybody should get Al Leiter. That's all I got for you, boys. This has been Team Tuesday. If you want your team, again, to be reviewed in here, Discord link down below in the description. That's all I got. Catch you boys on the flippity flop. Peace out.